charities need help from United Way of Greater Knoxville due to the ongoing pandemic. I'm Krisha Brooke.
Hi, and I'm Frank Murphy.
And you know, there's an easy way that you can contribute right now to charities in Greater Knoxville.
While you're driving around listening to the Krisha and Frank show on your favorite podcast app, pull into a Pilot Food Mart like this one and buy some gas, top off your tank, pick up anything you want inside the convenience store.
Ooh, you could get some coffee. All day today, Pilot will donate 5 cents of every gallon of gas sold and 10 cents of every dollar spent inside a Pilot store to United Way of Greater Knoxville.
So whether you top off your tank, get a snack, get some of the delicious Pilot coffee that you and I love, know that you're helping out our community with United Way of Greater Knoxville. And thanks so much for driving around and listening to the Krisha and Frank show on your favorite podcast app. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on social media. Just look for Krisha and Frank.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitters, all of them.
And now on with the show. You know, that looks weird, right?
That close?
Yeah, I mean, we're doing the show. I started the show.
Yeah.
We started recording,
Yeah.
and you just started checking out your nose ring? What were
Yeah,
you looking at?
I was actually.
I mean,
Like, hit us.
yeah. All right. Well, if you watch this on YouTube, you saw what we all just saw, which was
My
Krisha in
nose.
extreme close-up. And if
If you don't watch on YouTube, you should.
well, what if you're driving?
No,
You know, I think it's working out so far pretty
Yeah.
well. All right, that's enough of that. It's working out pretty well so far that the Krisha and Frank show is getting to all of your various
Platforms.
podcast apps in time for your morning drive.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Good job, Frank.
That's the deliberate. It's deliberate so that you can listen to us instead of the places
Where you wouldn't. Where
you can't find us.
Right.
I mean, you know, syndicated shows
So,
are fine, I guess.
My little car doesn't.
I mean, if we were
have-
syndicated, I'd be all about being a syndicated show.
Oh gosh,
But
yeah.
we're not.
No.
So there's
Actually,
that.
technically, we're self-syndicated.
Right, because you could listen to us in any
Anyway.
state, any city.
But I bought a little Bluetooth that I plug into my cigarette lighter that plays through the radio.
That's yeah.
Yeah, and so I have that in my car because
So
I
you
don't
can make
have-
us sound like we're on the radio.
Yeah, it sounds great.
It does.
Yeah.
That's what Megan, my daughter, does. She listens to us in the minivan,
Mm-hmm.
or on the Amazon Echo. In fact, she sent me a video one of those many times when I left the theme music running too long,
Yeah.
which is now I think we're up to about 6 times maybe I've
Okay,
done that.
that's
I don't
good.
know, but
Not
she
bad.
holds her little baby, and we're talking about, you know, something that doesn't go with the music. That's the comedy of it. She gets the joke that I have forgotten to turn off the music.
And it's still do 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 do.
And I'm ranting about how I hate politics and how it's like student government,
Right.
you know, about
do 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 do.
and she's got,
do, do,
you know,
do,
and she
do.
makes baby Lucy dance in front of the camera.
Which, I mean, you know, if you're gonna talk about politics, maybe you should have a jaunty underbed.
Well, I'll see if I'll check the. I should check the stats for that episode.
I need to like bring a snack pack to keep on the podcast
I
porch for
offered
Krisha.
to set up craft services.
I know, and I stole a protein bar, and thank you for that.
Well, next time you didn't steal it. I'm gonna put them out. I've got the coffee out, but I didn't think, because normally it's a little. You can tell by the sun
It's a little later.
that it's a little later in the day today for us to record today's episode because. But anyway, so yeah, we're both getting hungry. So I have nuts, and I have some kind of shake, some kind of protein shake that is in the laundry room somewhere.
Those give me toots.
Maybe that's why Jerry stopped drinking them.
They give me
She
the
was
toots.
she was all into it for a while, and I was thinking I could be like Regis and have my cup of Ensure.
Like stuff like that.
I
It just
don't-
gives me like if
don't
it's
really
got
have.
a lot of extra protein in it. Whew,
All right, well, but we had the bars. Those are nice. Did you get the salted caramel by any
I
chance?
did.
Those are the
I did.
best
It was
ones.
really
You know
good.
why we have those? Because I eat all the ones I don't like first.
Oh.
The
so
peanut
I ate
butter.
I ate
No. It's not an accident that the last ones are my favorites,
That's so cute.
because I'm delaying the gratification,
I like that.
and also for Jerry. You know, if I'll eat the ones that, you know, one's all chocolate, one's chocolate peanut butter, and one's salted caramel. But clearly, the salted caramel are head and shoulders above the
really
others. So I try to save those for the end.
Yeah. I mean, if you can have a protein candy bar, why not?
That's what it is.
It's a protein.
But anyway, so I bought grapes, I bought blueberries, I have things. I'll just have to
Yeah.
lay out over there.
Well, I want to make sure that I'm contributing to the, because, you know, we
Well,
like
you
our
can-
discounts.
You can bring snacks. I mean, remember the old show? Now, for those of you who are just figuring out that the Krisha and Frank show is a podcast, you know, like, dang, those people have chemistry. It's like they've known
they've done this before.
Yeah, and known each other for years. Well, we did. We had a podcast that ended 2 years ago, I think. But we did it for like a year and a half, and it was just for kind of, you know, each episode was like an hour, and we did them maybe once a week, and we kind of
did them at Waffle House a lot.
That's where I'm headed with this. How did you know?
Because I miss Waffle House. I miss Waffle House.
Why do you miss Waffle House? They're everywhere.
Because I'm a little freaked out to go eat inside right now.
Well, you should do what Jerry and I do.
I get it to go.
That's good.
But I miss going in. My regular Waffle House, Lala, she worked at my regular Waffle House.
Which is your regular Waffle House?
Asheville Highway. It was. Now I'm gonna have to like switch it up. But
oh yeah, because you're moving.
Yeah,
to that Megan says tell Krisha to stop giving out so many details about her.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Megan's scolding you.
I'm sorry.
Megan sends me a text. If I were Krisha's mom, I would tell her to stop because she does this to her son Artie.
Yes.
He wants to get on the internet and tell people where he lives.
Well, I saw him on your other
my short-lived Pitch and Forge show.
And you said the one thing your mother told me not to let you do, and because he's like blah 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 in his
he wants to give out his address and his last name, and I said you can't. You can make up a fake last name like people do in the movies and on TV. So he decided he was going to be Artie Rocket, which is just a word that I pulled out of my...
awesome. That is Artie Rocket. That is so
I know.
Awesome.
I pulled it because I'm thinking of things that he likes, because I was about to go to dinosaurs.
Right.
I was on the verge of saying Tyrannosaurus.
Nope, Artie Rocket.
But I said Rocket, and he's like, we're done.
That's it.
So,
no, there's no other discussion.
His stage name
Artie Rocket.
is Artie Rocket.
No, but so Lala, I miss going into Waffle House and sitting down, and I sit at the counter and I chat with Lala. I named my Christmas tree after her because I told her she was like fa la la. And
see, now Christine is my go-to Waffle House waitress at the paper mill store.
It's one of the busiest
in all of Tennessee.
In all of Tennessee,
if not the it's a rockin' store. So there's a lot of people going in and out of there. So I do admit that I prefer once we go in, or Jerry goes in. Or I have to go in sometimes too because I get the coupons on my phone from the Waffle House Regulars Club.
Waffle House Regulars Club. Sign up for the emails; they're awesome.
So I get a free waffle, right? So I go in and they look at the coupon. They don't even scan it because you're supposed to print it out.
Right.
So I don't have a printer, so I just show it to them on my phone.
Even if you did have a printer, it's not going to work. Printers are terrible.
So in fact, Bone Zone says we should buy a printer and write it off as a tax deduction from the show.
Okay, we should.
I don't have anything to print though.
Okay, except your Waffle House Regulars coupon.
Yeah, but I can't, I'm not going to do that. I'll just show them the front.
Right.
Anyway, I'll buy something. We'll buy a new microphone. I would like to buy new microphones and a new mixer sounder thing.
Yeah, mixer sounder.
But so I go in, and then both of us, rather than stand around, we prefer to go out and back out to the parking lot and wait out there. It's because it's outdoors and the weather's been okay. But we get the Jerry likes to get. Is it the All-Star breakfast?
All-Star breakfast.
And I get that omelet that I always got, the Fiesta omelet. But Christine, the best Waffle House waitress, in my opinion. No offense to Lala and everyone's got the best.
I think Lala got laid off.
Oh.
Yeah.
She said to me, and her husband, she used to manage a Waffle House. And then it got to be too much, so she stepped back and then just took a job at a new Waffle House as just a waitress. She says, I'm okay. But she understands every working part of that place because she used to manage another one on the other side of town. So her husband works there, is cooking, and she's waitressing, or sometimes she's calling orders. So she's got, it's like
I love Waffle House.
This mastermind.
So
she has this omniscience of everything going on inside that box.
Yeah.
So she says to me, you know what you should do? That Fiesta omelet that you get. You always leave out the ham. I said, yeah. Ham, whatever. She says,
bacon in it.
Yep. Did I start doing this?
Nope.
Well, that's what happened. Have you done this?
I've done it.
And then nowadays,
and it's crispy.
Every other waitress is like, well, there's an upcharge. I'm like, it's bacon. Of course, there's an upcharge. It's $1. It's worth it. If you taste the difference between the one and the other, clearly one is worth $1 more. There's no question.
Absolutely. Will I pay $1 more for bacon? 100%.
So that's my tip to you: the Fiesta omelet, sub bacon for ham.
And also, subscribe to the Waffle House regular. This is not sponsored by Waffle House, but by golly, if you want to sponsor us, Waffle House, we own enough of your coffee mugs combined that we could open our own Waffle House. So don't tempt me.
I don't have any Waffle House coffee
Don't
mugs.
tempt me.
I have 0 Waffle House coffee mugs. 0. You know what I have? I've got 2 Waffle House paper hats that they gave to Artie and Timmy. That's what I have.
I got called out the other day by my dude, and he was like, "You're that person that like wears the paper hat and you just wear it around for the rest of the day, don't you?" Like,
do you buy the coffee mugs?
Yes.
I don't know how to get one.
They're $5.
Okay.
You go in when you sit down at the Waffle House and they pour your coffee. When you're leaving, you say, "Hi, I'd like to buy my mug," and they charge you $5.
Even if it's been used.
You take your used one.
I would like a new one.
You can get a new one. They sell. Look on their website.
Okay.
They have specialty Christmas ones.
I'm not allowed to get mugs.
You gave me a mug
because I'm supposed to get rid of mugs. That's a beautiful Pigeon Forge. Look at. Can you see the bottom? It says Pigeon Forge pottery. Don't look at that.
I just.
But I mean, Jerry will be proud of me for getting rid of a mug.
Did you see my entire demeanor change when we started talking about Waffle House?
Do you get nuts or blueberries or anything? Because that's what I had. It was some kind of thing. I had a coupon for free waffle plus topping. It was special.
No.
So what do you get a plain?
Plain waffle. I asked for it to come out later.
Oh, because it's a little crispier?
Well, I want it. I want to eat my eggs, or I want to eat my egg sammy and my extra pickles on my egg sammy. I want to eat that, and then I want my waffle. And if they bring the waffle, when they bring your sandwich or they bring your All-Star, then your waffle's chili.
That is a good tip for next time I eat in Waffle House, which I don't know when that'll be.
Ask them to delay the waffle.
They have the plexiglass between the booths,
right.
But still.
Right.
Whereas we've been doing it to go. We go after church. We get everything in the big old bag. But
you don't even call ahead, right?
I did not know that.
So you don't have to go in. You just call in your order.
Okay, I'm only going to do that next. So, but we take everything home, and we've compensated because we'll take the waffle and either stick it in the oven or even stick it on the frying pan to warm it up and maybe crisp it up a tad.
Yeah.
While we're eating the eggs.
So it's the exact same
and
concept.
The other thing is, if you want, I have now a stack of Waffle House syrups because we're using. I don't use it. I'm saving it for when the little kids come.
Right.
If the kids want a dipping sauce.
Dunkers.
We go and we get. Well, I mean, I used to have a job. Remember? So during that time, we went out and we bought like the high quality Vermont syrup. And that's what we used. So imagine a Waffle House waffle with Irish butter imported from Ireland, high quality, and what do you call it? New Hampshire, Vermont maple syrup.
Like to me, that's tainting the waffle.
It's gilding the lily.
It is gilding the lily.
It's not putting lipstick on a pig.
But to me, like I want the foofy Waffle House butter that you need more of. So when I have them delay the waffle, then they bring it to my table and I slather it in butter and I get just enough syrup on it. I don't like a lot of syrup on my waffle. I get just enough syrup to hit those little bricks.
You want the waffle to be able to absorb the syrup.
And it just.
So you cut it first to create more surface area.
No. I let it just saturate just enough, and then I eat my waffle and I cut it in pizza slices. I eat it in triangles.
All of this is about getting you snacks here, but I also want to mention that my friend Bean, who has moved to England, will be insanely jealous of the Waffle House episode because he and I went there on his last
I remember. I
visit
missed it. I saw
before he moved to England. But you know who else eats at Waffle House after a gig?
Who?
The Bone Zones team.
Bone Zones, don't forget the S.
That was a good song.
Bone Zones, don't forget the S. Go to the website, check it out.
I said I wouldn't dance during the commercials. I promised.
Okay. But it's just, I got this.
We could improvise a song for Bone Zones.
We could.
And we'll do that. We have to hear something, but we could do that.
Bone Zones, don't forget the S.com.
So,
Dean got nothing on that.
So Susan and the gang, after they drop off Dr. Bass at home,
yes,
all of a sudden they'll get a text. We're going to Bone Zone. I mean, going to
We're going to Bone Zones.
They are Bone Zones. Going to Waffle House. You want to join us? And usually I'm home at that point because my job in the Dr. Bass gigs when we had gigs would be he's done the lecture, he's done all the autographs, he's met everybody, he's taken all of these pictures, and he's an extrovert like me, so this gives him energy. These are like students.
Right.
He is now alive and thriving.
He's absorbing it
And
like that Waffle House waffle.
Yeah, so he's pumped of energy, and so am I. But there's now going to be like half an hour where they have to pack up all the books and pack up all the T-shirts and pack up all the merchandise that you can now buy at bonezones.com. Put it in the van, and then drive him home. So he's just sitting there. So
chilling.
Susan, from the leader of Bone Zones, usually says to me, like this. That means, but now that was the first time. I picked up on it because I realized, wait a minute. You actually want me
Go entertain the doc.
to stay for an extra 20 minutes to half an hour. Off the clock. I don't get paid extra. But I get to go sit one-on-one
With Dr. Bass.
with Dr. Bass, and we just all we do, it's two extroverts, so
You
imagine
shoot the psoas.
energy. Yes, it just gets going, and he wants to know about how Frank Jr. is doing because he's getting his PhD, and I tell him whatever scientific thing I can retain from my last conversation with my son, which is difficult because
It's a lot.
he's published now, so I can probably just say, here, Dr. Bass, here's the academic paper. You can read it yourself
That's
about
awesome.
the molecules and that's one of the steps to the PhD. Da, 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 da. But so that's fun for me. I get to visit with the guy, same as you do when you see him in person. But in the meanwhile, you can get these autograph merchandise, the hat, the T-shirt. Let's see, what do you got there? All the things that I'll scroll in the middle of the
Books,
screen.
and there's all sorts of cool stuff that you can get.
So Dr. Bass is the man. He's the man.
He's awesome. Bonezones.com. Don't forget the S.
All right. So Waffle House is where we go after a Bone Zones event.
Right.
Because they're open 24 hours. My friend Bean over in England, where he doesn't have the Waffle House.
Why aren't they international?
You know where he went?
Where?
I think it's called the Duck and Waffle.
Oh,
Or-
I mean, the Duck and Waffle.
I think he went to the Duck and Waffle, which sounds like it was
Hey, bring me my Duck and Waffle.
You know what it's like? Chicken and waffles.
Yeah.
I think. He says he doesn't eat duck. So I think
that
in
sounds
England.
so good. Give me some fatty duck on a waffle. Oh,
Right?
I'm starving.
So Bean loves pancakes and waffles, but mostly pancakes. But he goes to something called the Duck. I think it's the Duck and Waffle, Duck and Pancake. He'll believe me.
The Duck and Flapjack.
He will hear this.
The Duck and Flapjack. That'd be great.
We should open the Duck and Flapjack. That's better.
Coming to Pigeon Forge.
Yes. So Bean watches or listens to the show. I'm not sure which. And like the time we talked about my prom date, how the girls I worked with brought their, I said homely friend.
You said they always, they
brought they were trying to fix
up somebody with their homely friend.
They were trying, yeah.
You referred to a girl that you went to prom with as someone's homely friend.
So Bean, astutely and correctly, said, how do you know that they weren't fixing her up with their homely friend, meaning me? And I said, that is exactly what happened. There's no question in my mind. I've seen pictures of me in high school. I was homely.
Are men homely?
Well, what else would you be? Ugly?
I don't know. I don't know.
Awkward?
I don't know.
Geeky?
I don't know.
Just not good?
I like geeks, though.
Well, this is not, but it looked, I don't
Right.
know.
Geeky is no longer a derogatory
I don't
term.
have any photographs of myself from high school. Anything pre-beard, I don't have them.
Huh.
I mean, I have them from when I was younger, I guess. I have a few pictures from childhood.
Yeah.
And I'm sure now that when we start cleaning out Mom's house, more might surface.
Oh, Jerry, hook me up.
Well, really, it's my sisters, Alicia and
sisters.
Catherine.
Alicia and Catherine, hook me up.
But most of them, thank goodness, are in slide format. So I don't even know who's got the slides.
You can make digital photos out of slides.
I would like to have, especially all the ones I took during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, I would like to have those. And, so Megan and her husband are supposed to scan some of the things. They said they were going to buy a scanner and scan some of this old stuff so we could just have it digitally and then maybe get rid of the paper copies.
Yeah, I have a really hard time getting rid of paper copies of anything.
I mean, I can see photos. You would keep the photos, but whatever else. I mean, there's probably, my dad was a newspaper writer, so he's got all these old clippings. I used to write for the school papers. I've got boxes of clippings that,
I have a hard time getting rid of stuff.
It'd be easier to scan them and...
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is.
I mean, Jerry has put up with it for all the years of our marriage. They have gone in a box from our apartment to our first townhouse across the country. They sat in a garage in Burbank for 10 years, and then they've been here for 18 years.
It's very breezy. Yes. The leaves are coming at us.
So anyway, that's So Bean is right about the homely friend, and he's also right about the snacks.
Snacks.
While I'm talking about Bean, I may as well tell you that he is crazy for candy corn.
Candy corn.
Do you like the candy corn? Because people,
I do
his former fans of K-Rock in Los Angeles, they still react to him on Twitter. And most of these people, they say, why don't you just eat crayons? Why don't you just eat candles?
Because everybody likes different things.
Do you like?
I like candy corn.
So we're okay.
We're good.
We're both on pro candy corn.
Pro candy corn. I tell you what, Bean, I will trade you as much candy corn as I can send to you for as much crunchy as you can send to me.
What is crunchy?
Crunchy is a candy bar, and there's flake and crunchy. And you can buy them in the States, but they're not the same. Crunchy is like this. It's a candy bar that's just a honeycomb, and it's very.
Send two. I would like one.
It's very. Send more than two. Send a case. They're very crunchy.
We should probably send him stuff first.
No, I'm saying I'll send him as much candy corn or whatever he wants.
All right.
Anything. I'll send you a Waffle House waffle.
I don't know if that's gonna.
I've got a freeze dryer.
It's got to go to London.
Okay.
What, are you going to put it in the food dehydrator?
I can put it in the food dehydrator. You can just sprinkle some syrup on it. It'll poof back away.
Well, someone pointed out that you should mix the candy corn with peanuts.
Oh, well, we know someone who does that.
So, and Bean said no, he would not desecrate the candy corn. But I don't think he's tried it, because remember did we talk about the salted caramel? The beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. The best ice cream is, I can't eat almost any other kind of ice cream anymore except for salted caramel, because you know what I do now if I don't have salted caramel ice cream?
You salt it
with pretzels.
Yes.
I put pretzels in the ice cream and let them.
So good.
I know.
Yeah.
It's the sweet and salty together, and this I blame Buttons. Remember Buttons? Buttons sometimes clicks like, and
I miss
I don't
her.
know. I don't know if Buttons watches or listens to the show, but this one's for you, Buttons.
Buttons, I love you so much.
I was talking on Twitter. I was responding to Kevin and Bean were having at each other on Twitter about candy corn. So I found from 2010 a photograph of what I called redneck trail mix. So it was politically incorrect, I'm imagining, to call it redneck trail mix,
maybe.
but please, it was 10 years ago.
Right.
And I thought it was funny because it's peanuts, salty peanuts, and regular old Brock's candy corn, right? Mixed together. And I don't know how Lavonda in her cauldron, I don't know how Buttons in her cauldron.
That's what I was going to say.
Do I need to bleep that out?
I don't know. Ask her. I don't think so. Anyway.
I was deliberately calling her Buttons.
Right.
So that
it wouldn't cross over, but it did. So, oh well. We love you. And this is my thing. She would make, there are things that people would like, one of my co-workers at that same place would hire her to make dip.
Really? She was dip for hire?
For his
never
parties.
Heard of dip for hire.
He would hire her out to make dip.
You have to tell me who it was. I mean, you can't.
You know who it was.
No, I can think of two people who it might be.
It's definitely the first one.
Okay.
So
the one who's too lazy to make his own dip. Okay, that would actually make sense.
So, but
now that I think about it, there's only one person.
Okay. But I want to know the specific peanuts that she uses, because she's not just dumping planters in there.
No. She's got a magical formula.
It had to be like fancy cocktail peanuts or something. Because no.
But I mean, I almost want the recipe, Buttons.
La Button.
I almost want to know the recipe so that I can recreate it here, because Jerry yelled at me a little bit. She said, because I told her about this when I was doing the whole Twittering. I said, we got to see this Twitter I did to Bean and Kevin and blah, blah, blah. We're talking about
candy corn
and peanuts.
Candy corn fight. Old man candy corn fight.
That should be the name of this episode.
Old man candy corn.
Old man candy corn fight. So... that was good. Please, I acknowledge you. I acknowledge you for that. So, but that's what we're doing.
I got myself an old man candy corn Twitter. Oh, if they could see us now.
I'll tell them I'll tell those whippersnappers how candy corn and he also likes Necco wafers, which I think are disgusting. But so
like, just eat a Tums.
I'm showing this. I've got some of those too.
They've got more flavor.
I have some of those if you need them. I'm telling Jerry how I miss Buttons and her redneck trail mix. Yeah. And my wife said, well, you can't have it anymore. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, because of COVID. You can't have it anymore. Each peanut would have to be individually wrapped. And she's right in a way.
Don't peanuts come individually wrapped? They got a shell.
Each piece of candy corn would have to be individually wrapped.
Like, de-shell it.
You can't go stick in your hand in a bowl of...
Well, if it's yours.
Right, but the point being that Jerry has seen issues where, like at the community break room, somebody brings a box of donuts.
Right,
and they bring the duck donuts to the lunch. It's like special day.
Yeah.
Somebody's whatever. So here it is in the lounge, the staff lounge. Somebody has brought a box of duck donuts.
Don't do that.
And you can't unless they're individually wrapped. Mm-hmm. So what they do is they go when they need donuts. They actually go to Pop's Donuts, which I shouldn't mention any of these places because you should all advertise. But let's just say Pop's Donuts, for example. They go when they buy them now. Somebody has to go and to Pop's, and they have to individually bag the donuts before they can bring them back. Right. You have to mask up, glove up, individually bag the donuts, and then you can put them out for the staff to take a whole bag.
Right.
Of one donut.
Yes.
So that's her point. My wife's point is that you can't ask Buttons to please come here to the podcast porch as a special guest. I can't ask her to do this.
Why not?
Because it would be a community bowl.
Well, okay, yeah, but if they're
what if it's scooped? How to scoop the ladle?
What if it's just like, here's Frank's, here's Krisha's, here's like, when I had a patio party, like I had a very socially distanced patio party with some friends, we all had individual, like I had my table with my drink and my nuts. They had their table with their drinks and their nuts.
Okay.
And nobody communally touched anything.
Yeah, you should never touch someone else's.
Don't touch anybody else's nuts.
And on that note, we will wrap the episode. Old Man Candy Corn Fight.
Old Man Candy Corn Fight. Find it on Twitter. Find the thread.
Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and please share this one with your friends.
There's a reason cancel culture exists.
Because of people like me?
Old Man Candy Corn Fight.
So, especially if you know Kevin and Bean, or you know Buttons, or you know Christine, the Waffle House waitress, or Lala, anybody we mentioned in today's show.
The lazy guy who won't make his own dinner.
I'm pretty sure I know who it is. It's the one, right? That I'm thinking of? The one I sent you a picture? I texted you. Alright, I guess she's done. She stopped sitting up straight like she's supposed to on Scholars Bowl. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and subscribing. It's the Krisha and Frank Show. We will talk to you.
We're going to get sued.
Tomorrow. That's literally what my sisters are worried about. My sister said to me...